Yeah. So in the last segment of the show, the time we got left, I actually want to talk about something that Kenn Rashad broached to us last week to get a chance to get to. And we're gonna stay in the SWAC with this one. But over the weekend, Mississippi Valley State, they lost 54-17 to Alabama State. Their sixth straight loss of the season, their second SWAC loss of the season. They actually jumped out to a 14-0 lead in this ball game, surprisingly. And then they gave up scores on every Alabama State drive after that to lose by the margin they did. And so this topic normally has come up.
Are we really going to talk about this?
Yes, 15 years or so that Mississippi Valley State may not be cut out, not only for the SWAC, but for Division I. They're 1-15 under Kendrick Wade Jr. And they haven't, before Kendrick Wade Jr., they were not a very competitive football team either. So you get yourself in trouble, man. I'm not trying to do anything for you. You're gonna hang yourself.
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble for calling all corn spokes bastards, which I don't mean. Come on, I mean it in a playful sense. Somebody said you call that, you think that's good, and Grambling is Metro. Wait a minute. Wait.
You called a black billionaire who doesn't care about
country bastard is good, and Grambling is metropolitan. I did not say Grambling was metropolitan. I just simply said we were just a tad bit sophisticated. That's all.
Okay, whatever you say.
Anyway. So okay. I'm just gonna call it, and I know some Valley folks are they're not gonna like this, but it's we just gotta call a spade a spade. And let me preface this before I make the point. You can probably make this argument for about 90% of the teams in the SWAC, but I'm gonna just say it because it needs to be said. Mississippi Valley State, you need to go to Division II. You are doing yourselves, your student athletes, that institution, the SWAC, and black folks in general. You are doing us no favors by trying to stay in Division I. Exactly right. WSSU Ram Nation, even they know. You got a CIAA budget. And you playing in the SWAC. You need to step down. The president, whoever the governing body is with the IHL in Mississippi. I mean, look, at some point, this, and I'm dead serious about this, because, we all talk about fiscal responsibility and so forth, man. There is no need in and year out, constantly fielding Division I teams. And and from what I understand, most of the time, none of your programs have the maximum number of scholarships. You're always operating at a deficit because you can't afford more scholarships. So why do you continue to stay here? It's time to do the responsible thing. It's time to do the responsible thing. You need to move. You need to leave the SWAC. You need to go to Division II. I don't care what any one of you Valley folks say. It ain't like, it's not like it's been a 5-year trend. It's not like it's been a 10-year trend. This shit has been like a 50, 60-year trend. Excuse the expression. I wasn't supposed to say. God damn it. Anyway.
That's how far
this is not just some trend that just happened all of a sudden. And everybody plays you, and they just automatically assume we're playing Valley. It's going to be a win.
In every sport at that.
Every sport. Granted, the non-revenue sports tend to do a little better because it's non-revenue. It's not costing you any money. But football being what it is, and I understand why you probably stay. You probably stay in Division I because of the possibility of, it's that basketball revenue. That's why a lot of these teams. But look, plain and simple, y'all need to move. Y'all need to go on. I understand that might be problematic for the SWAC, and we might have to deal with an 11-team conference to get somebody in, but y'all need to go.
Here's my thing. Valley, as Ken said, has not really been the salt of the earth in the SWAC since the days of Jerry Rice and Willie Satellite Totten. I mean, they won the SWAC that year, 1984. That was 40 years ago. My coworkers to the right of me were not born. The boss beneath me was in high school. I was a toddler. So Valley has not been good for a very long time. But the question for Valley is, and I want to save something for my closing remarks, no Steve Harvey, but where do they go? Because I doubt a Division II PWI conference is going to take them, and the SIAC is just too far east. I mean, yes, they have Alabama schools, but who from Edward Waters in Jacksonville, Florida, is trying to make that trip to Itabena, Mississippi?
Who Central State is affiliated with who?
Good point.
Okay, so
I don't think
they're not that far east.
I totally forgot.
No, they're not that far east.
I've totally forgot. So yes, maybe Mississippi Valley State can join the SIAC and make that a super Division II HBCU conference. But right now in the SWAC, they're not hitting on nothing. I mean, the last good program they had was the men's basketball team when they were coached by Sean Woods, and then they ended up getting him out of the paint. So it's like, I mean.
Oh, Xfinity got you, bro.
Chris's face stuck just like that. But
that's exactly how Valley. That's exactly how everybody looking. When we Valley, what are you doing?
But
Valley's last winning season in football was 2006.
Okay, see, look, man. I mean, this ain't even funny no more. So it's not a popular thing to say. But when we put in consideration the overall mission of HBCUs, because as we all agree, HBCUs weren't created for the purpose of having championship football programs. You aren't doing the school a service. You're not doing those student athletes a service. You're not even doing the community a service. You need to step down. You need to step down and try to compete at a lower level.
I don't think that's going to be good enough. Look at the last two seasons. Before this year, they had lost to Central State, and they've lost their last two against Delta State, which is a Division II powerhouse. Don't get me wrong. Delta State is a very good Division II program, but they've lost games to Division II teams. So I think this is just beyond them. And by the way, I would just love to talk more about Division II football. I don't want this to be about Mississippi Valley State, dropping down to D2, because that makes it look like D2 is a step down. It is not a step down. We have three teams.
It's not.
No.
We have three teams at HBCU football this year that could potentially be in the Division II playoffs. The CIAA champion, the SIAC champion, and West Virginia State, who could potentially win the Mountain East this year. We have D2 guys from D2 HBCUs who are in the NFL. Emmanuel Wilson, who is balling out for the Green Bay Packers. Joshua Williams is a two-time Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs. So for everybody thinking that this is just going to be a step down for Mississippi Valley State, they're going to have to put on they work clothes and go to work down here too, by the way. Yeah. They're going to have to go to work here too. If you think that you're going to have the mentality that they have now, and they're just going to go down to D2 and going to have success, you're sadly mistaken.
So Jared, Jared, just respectfully, let me put it like this, because you're right. I don't want to necessarily look at this as a way of saying that D2 is low, but in the case of Mississippi Valley, let's just say for Mississippi Valley State, D1 is too damn high.
Yeah,
you have no business being a D1 institution. Period.
And I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to go a step further and say, whatever level you're at, your mentality is not going to work no matter what. The mentality that they have is not working. I don't know what it is that's not working, but it's not working at all across all sports. It is not working. We literally got excited during basketball season about their announcers when they won their first game. That was the most excitement that Mississippi Valley State has had in athletics in a long time.
Ooh wee! No, you didn't just say that. Ooh wee! That I get. Wow. NAIA might be the answer. Wow.
And even then, they still might not be good enough because the mindset is not there. The mindset is not there for change to happen.
Well, look, didn't they? What I think the recent they made what they got turf.
They
got
new scoreboard. They got a damn 250-piece marching band, but so does Talladega, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna give you a golf clap for that.
But still, that does nothing to move the bar. And I guess arguably speaking, with respect to the turf and the scoreboard, and granted, look, I'm not trying to nitpick, but at the very least, you should already have that. And the reason why you didn't have it before is because you didn't have the money to get it before now. It's okay. And the thing is, it's not like it's unprecedented. We've seen it happen before. Savannah State did it. Winston-Salem did it. They took the responsible step. They tried to compete at the Division I level. Said, you know what, this is too damn expensive. They went down to Division II. And look at Savannah State now. They're competitive.
Winston-Salem State went to Division II title game as soon as they went back.
Yeah, right, exactly right. So, I mean, it's not like it's something that is unprecedented and we hadn't seen before. But, I did not know. Just so you guys know, I did not know we were going to talk about this. And so Kendrick just kind of sprung it on us, but hey, it's a conversation that need to be had.
That was his October surprise. We've seen a lot of October surprises, but this is Kendrick's October surprise. One thing I will say, because Xfinity counts your days, boy. Who I tell you. I mean, I literally was just about to get on the phone and cuss some poor rep out, but then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna chill because it's Monday, things happen. But we have to start. And Tiger Nation, the undefeated, probably makes a point that we are not really privy to because, of course, Kendrick is based in North Carolina. Ken is in Texas. Jarrett's in the DMV. I'm in Delaware. He says Valley will not leave the SWAC. There are some political ramifications connected with the Republican-dominated Mississippi legislature that would make this untenable. And I am going to err on the side of deferring to Tiger Nation, the undefeated, because we don't know what's going on in Mississippi. I mean,
it's always political. I don't deny that, especially it being a state-supported school.
Yeah, Brett Favre stole a ton of money. That's all we know about Mississippi at this point.
Well, no, but I think I've told the story before. Way back in the day, back when Rudy Washington was the commissioner of the SWAC, and for whatever reason, he felt. I think I told you guys he felt the need to call me all kinds of times of the night. Just wanted to talk back in the SWAC page days, and he told me how he single-handedly made the offer for Tennessee State to become a football only member of the SWAC. Say, hey, you don't want to bring the whole program? Just give me football. And for political reasons, Tennessee State declined. So it's like I said, because Valley is a state-supported school, I'm pretty certain that politics play a role in these type of decisions. But that still doesn't remove the fact that they need to move. But I hear you. It's a fair point.
Yeah. The point I was going to continue to make is that we can talk about just how bad Valley is. We can talk about just how bad other HBCUs in different states are from an athletic standpoint, even an academic standpoint. Fact of the matter is that we are still that these schools are mostly in red states. And yes, I'm making this political. If you don't want to hear political jargon, you can lump me in with Obama. I mean, brother's been blaming Obama for the last 3-4 business days because he asked them to just be kinder to Kamala Harris. So if you Negroes want to lump me in with Obama, be my guest. I'm a little too dark for that, but I will gladly say change has come to America. But yes, I'm making this political. Most of our HBCUs are in red states, and red states are run by racists, fascists, idiots that have nothing better to do than just turn their eye to the issues of people of color. And HBCUs are people of color issue. Make no mistake about it. I mean, we've run stories about how Tennessee State has been owed probably $1 billion in the last 50 years. How Alabama A&M has probably been owed nearly $500 million, and the governor says, "Oh, they misread the books." And it's like, how can you accuse somebody of misreading the books? But that's just how these red states run. That's where a lot of our HBCUs are based. And why would people who are dyed in the wool, trained, generational racists? I mean, these are people who still probably call black people moon crickets, for crying out loud. So if you think that these folks are going to let Mississippi Valley State, get any sort of footing, then you're sadly mistaken. I mean, it sucks, but that's the reality of it. I mean, we're talking about Brett Favre and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Those of you who are wrestling fans, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I would do the laugh, but my throat's a little scratchy. I used to be able to do the Ted DiBiase laugh. Maybe I'll do it another day. But these two fools have stolen millions of dollars from Mississippi welfare. Money that could have gone to different institutions like Valley that could use the help. But they're not going to do that. And these folks and Favre and DiBiase are not really going to face any real criminal, consequences for it, because they're in red states. I mean, that's where most of our HBCUs are based. And that's why a lot of these schools are suffering right now, because they just don't have the money, and the folks that are in charge won't give them the money. So yes, we can talk about how bad Valley stinks, but we need to know that there's some real sinister implications as to why they stink.